Okay, September 12th. Today's a pretty weak day. Not much happened today that I could find. There was in 1994, somebody stole a small plane and crashed it into the White House. The Clintons weren't home. They were actually in the Blair House because there was some work being done on the White House. Um, so that happened today in 94, and John F. Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy were married today in 1953. So pretty weak. But what I thought I'd talk about is the 25th Amendment to the Constitution. I've had a couple of questions. Could the cabinet remove the president using the 25th Amendment? And I looked into it, and it's actually more difficult than the impeachment process, especially in this case, and I'll explain why. The 25th Amendment was put in place in the 1960s, in 1965, approved by Congress. The states approved it in 1967. And what this did was, the first thing it did is it clarified that the vice president becomes president on the death of the president. The Constitution was vague, and is in terms of how long he becomes president, and is he just a sitting president? And so the 25th Amendment clarified that language. The other thing the 25th Amendment did was it allowed the president to temporarily transfer power to the vice president. And so this allowed Ronald Reagan, when he was undergoing surgery and going to be under anesthetic, to transfer power to George H.W. Bush for a few hours. So that was also the 25th Amendment. But the key part of the 25th Amendment is the fourth article, and this says that the cabinet, the majority of the cabinet, plus the vice president, could vote to basically say that the president is medically unfit, that he's just unfit for office and should be removed. So they file their reports, they get their doctors to say that he's unfit. And so you can think about somebody like Wilson, who had a stroke. This was kind of what the 25th Amendment was there for. But then the president gets a chance to rebut and come up with his doctors to say, no, he's fine, he's fit. So you can see in this case, when we're talking about mental fitness, mental health, that would be a very difficult argument to make that he's unfit. But then once those two have had their chances to come up with their doctors and their documents, then it goes to Congress. And in the case of impeachment, it's a simple majority in the House to impeach the president, and then 2/3 in the Senate to remove him. In the case of the 25th Amendment, it's 2/3 in both houses. So it's actually a higher bar to remove the president using the 25th Amendment than it is to do it via the impeachment process, which is a legal process. So the impeachment process is, did he break the law? Did he create high crimes and misdemeanors? So the impeachment process is actually easier, and so I don't see the 25th Amendment being used in this case to show that Donald Trump was unfit mentally for office. So a little something different today. I'll see you tomorrow.